Welcome, World of Lapar here, bringing you guys the fourth tutorial of my channel. And I know it has been a while since I posted a tutorial, but yeah, I was making projects and was busy with school, so here it is, the fourth one. Well, what we'll be talking about today, I'll be going over the atmosphere. How you create a good atmosphere for your project, what's needed for a good atmosphere. I'll be going over it all. And don't get me wrong, most of you will say atmosphere, that's just something you have or you can make, right? But no, there's actually a technique to it, and a lot of things you have to well, take note of. So yeah, we'll dive right into it. And just a little heads up before I start, the tutorials I make will consist of information only, a lot. So there will be times when I make like a skills tutorial, so I show the things you have to do, but a lot of times I will just give you the information so you can work with it yourself. I like that myself better, so you can really learn it yourself. And when you have questions, you can always message me. My messages are kind of full always, so I can respond kind of late, sorry about that. But I really like it better that way, because you really get your own brain to work, your own mind to figure things out, and it's really fun to figure it out yourself. So yeah, that's why I usually only give information. So yeah, you have to put up with me. But to start off this tutorial, let's go. Alright, well, there are a lot of things you need for a good atmosphere. And don't get me wrong, there's no such thing as one good atmosphere. There are a lot of good atmospheres. You can have a scary good atmosphere, an action good atmosphere, an emotional good atmosphere, a happy good atmosphere. You can have a lot of them, but you have to get them right. So, first thing first, the things you need for a good atmosphere. Well, you need a good sync between the music and the footage. That's important for a lot of more things, but for a good atmosphere it's really important that your music is in sync with the footage. Otherwise, well, it doesn't really go as smooth as you want it to be, right? Because let's say I have I don't know, a rock music, and I'll put some crying little anime girl on it. That's kind of weird. It's kind of weird if you want to create a sad emotional scene. So picture it in your mind, and I'll give you an example. Picture it. A good atmosphere comes with the sync of music and footage. That's one thing. There are a lot of other things, but this is one thing. So you see me here on the background. One of my projects I already made. It's an emotional project. It's important. As you can see, I'll put the markers up so I can sync my footage with the music. As I already said, the sync between music and footage is one thing. The other thing, and this is mainly about ASMVs, so anime story music videos, you have to put in the right codes. So let's say you're trying to build up, right? You're trying to build up. Everyone that's an editor knows what I mean when I say you're trying to build up. Let's say in the beginning of your video you're trying to build up. Alright. You usually use slower kind of music, a softer kind of music, a darker or deeper kind of music. You have to put in the right kind of codes. So what I mean by this is either no or almost no background music. This is really important. Sometimes you can't help it, and sometimes you just can't. I have that too, but try to avoid it as much as possible. So you have to put in the right kind of codes, and the right kind of codes doesn't just mean no or almost no background music. It also means your codes have to match the footage. So don't go putting in some I don't know, Naruto code about friends and family, and you put in Akashi from Kuroko no Basket. Don't go putting in some friends bullshit with someone who's focused on domination. Match the right codes with the right footage, with the right music. All these points come together. So now we have the sync between music and the footage, and the sync between the codes and the footage and the music, because no or almost no background music is a sync between your right codes and your music. So that is number 2. Well, the fourth thing, I'll go over this pretty quick because, well, it's common knowledge if you ask me, but the type of music and the type of footage and the type of projects are important. If I'm going to make an emotional project, this means I'll have to focus on more emotional music. Because, well, if I make an emotional project, I have to play in on the emotional parts of someone that's watching. If I'm going for like a thriller, scary vibe in my project, I have to choose music which connects to those kind of feelings. You really have to understand that the type of music you choose is really important. Because, well, the type of music is going to carry your entire project. So if you don't choose the right music, well, your project can go out of the window just like that. So spend a lot of time on that. Well, went over it pretty quick. Next we'll go over what kind of effects you want to use. And in my previous tutorial I went over text effects. I will make a tutorial about effects on footage, but just for this tutorial, the kind of effects are really important. I'm going to show you guys a couple of effects I use for certain occasions, so you have a slight idea what I mean. So let's say I'm going for I don't know, a flashback, right? Sometimes you want to create a flashback in your project. I have a couple of effects I use, because let's say I'm going to make a flashback. The things I'm thinking about when a flashback is white, right? White things like a white outline on my video, a little blur, some lights. That's what I think about when I see a flashback. So your definition of a flashback has to come alive in your effects. So I'm thinking about white and lights and blur. That's the kind of effect I'm going to look for, and I use Sony Vegas Pro 14, so I have quite some more effects than people who use Sony Vegas Pro 11 or 12. 13 almost has the same effects as 14, but not all of them. And on top of that, I have special effects like New Blue and Magic Bullet looks, but I don't use Magic Bullet looks at all actually. But the effects, they are just really important. And the example I give now is a flashback. But let's say I'm not going for a flashback, but I'm going for like a very scary mood. If I'm thinking about a very scary mood, I'm thinking about black, like right, like darker, a darker scene, Some blur can be in there, some scenes maybe with blood, or some, you know, where you get people questioning. So those will be the effects I'll be looking for. Some darker effects, like I can tone down the colors to some more black, more darker colors. That's the way you play with your effects. That way your effects will play a big difference on the atmosphere you create in your video. And last but not least, you have to have the right feeling. So let's say I'm making a project, and I've already said this before, but I make the project I want to see myself. If I make an Akashi tribute, or a Tanya tribute, or a Naruto and Hinata tribute, the projects I produce and upload to YouTube are the projects I want to see. I watch my own videos, not like 10 times a day, but when I upload them, I watch them, and somewhere the week after I watch them again. I watch my own videos because I want to watch what I create. I want to make things that I like, and I think that's for everyone. You don't create things you don't like, you create things you like, and you want other people to like them too. So let's say you have gone through all the steps I've said before. You have to have the right feeling. So you have to ask yourself, does this feel right? Watch your own video before uploading it. Watch it when it's rendered. Just watch it and think, is this the feeling I want to have when I watch my video? It's a really important question, guys. It really is. So that was it. Like I said before, my tutorials are more informative than showing skills off. But I will go over effects in my next tutorial, so I will show you guys how to use the effects and how I use my effects. So yeah, look forward to it. So thank you guys for watching, and have a very nice day. Rod of Lapar out.